Thinking about moving to the Colorado Springs area and wondering what the locals would say are their favorite things about living here? Stay tuned for my list of the best things about the Springs and one very important tip today on Realty Talk. Have you ever thought about making a move to another city or even another state, but wondered if you would like it when you finally got there? Well, when I was thinking about Colorado, I was actually serving in the Army in Korea, and I didn't know a lot about Colorado, but I had this grand idea about how it would be, and I wanted to live here. So I made the request for my next duty station to be Colorado, and I got it, specifically to be stationed in Fort Carson, and I'm so glad I got my wish. When I first arrived, I lived with a friend I met while living in Korea, and he was already stationed here at Fort Carson for several years before his tour in Korea, so he knew his way around. He was a single guy, so one of the first things I learned about was the downtown nightlife. Colorado Springs wasn't as populated in 2008 or as built up, but there was plenty to do, and I had a lot of fun hanging out with friends at a variety of clubs, bars, and restaurants downtown. So I have to rank nightlife in the top of my list, but I didn't get to enjoy it very long. I was just beginning to enjoy myself, but it was only 9 months until I was deployed to Iraq, and it would be a full year before I would make it back home to Colorado Springs. One thing you should know that makes my best things about the Springs list is it's easy to navigate if you want to get around and go and enjoy the area. I-25 is the major north to south thoroughfare through some of the most popular places to visit. To the south, about 45 minutes, we have Pueblo, and then north, situated roughly in the middle, is our very own Colorado Springs, and then only about an hour further north is Denver and all of the amenities of a large city. My wife and I go up there for a staycation every now and then. We get a hotel downtown for the night and then go and explore all of the different dining, shopping, and entertainment, mostly within walking distance. One of the reasons it's very easy to navigate is because I-25 is situated within sight of the mountains. You have Cheyenne Mountain, Pikes Peak, and then the entire Front Range. You can easily orient the direction you're traveling in by first finding the mountains and knowing that they're always to the west with I-25 running north and south along them. In 2012, I began getting into winter sports, so I bought myself a snowboard, which leads to one of my next favorite things. We are within 2.5 to 3 hours away from the ski areas, without also being snowed in all year, like you would be if you lived directly in the ski areas. There's Breckenridge, Keystone, Arapahoe Basin, Loveland, Crested Butte, and Monarch Mountain Ski Area, as well as Vail and Aspen that are not too much further away. Don't get me wrong, they do a fantastic job of keeping the roads clear in the ski areas, but the snow is piled up almost everywhere else. This year it has snowed quite a bit in Colorado Springs, but the great thing that makes it another favorite on my list is that typically the snow comes in one day and then clears up relatively quickly, with warmer days often in between. Now let's talk about some of the top things in the Springs that make it so much fun to live here. If you enjoy outdoor activities, as I do, we absolutely have that covered. We have physical activities like hiking the Manitou Incline and the many hiking adventures you can take on the trails called 14ers. A 14er is a hike that goes over 14,000 feet in elevation above sea level. If you're looking for something a little less physical, I love going to Garden of the Gods Park to see the stunning natural geological features. And then there's Seven Falls, Palmer Park, and Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. If you're looking for something to do indoors that you can do year-round, there are plenty of things to do. We just got a new iFly, which is an indoor skydiving adventure, Top Golf, Overdrive, which is a 2-story indoor go-kart track, and then there's the Great Wolf Lodge, which is an indoor water park with a high-rise hotel that you can get for a package deal. If I boiled it down into just one phrase of why these are the best things about the Springs, I would just say this: there is just so much to do. I'll finish up with one more point and why living in Colorado Springs has been so great for me. This will be important if you're dreaming about making a life here. I lived in Tennessee most of my life, in both Chattanooga and Nashville, and then a couple of places in Georgia for several years, and even Florida for about 6 to 7 years. And one thing I've noticed here, and I'm no economist by any means, but I believe we have a great economy here, and I believe it's probably going to get even better from here on. As I mentioned earlier, I was in the Army, and Fort Carson is what brought me here. But we also have Peterson Space Force Base, Schriever Space Force Base, and the U.S. Air Force Academy and NORAD at Cheyenne Mountain. We also have Amazon and many other large employers that recently came to town. Sure, the cost of living here is a little higher than the other places I mentioned, but I have to believe that not only has it caused our population to increase, but I believe all of those factors have come together to support a great economy. By no means are those all of the best things about the Springs, but it's a good start, and I encourage you to come and experience your own list of best things. If you need assistance moving here, I'm a licensed realtor and designated as a military relocation professional through the Board of Realtors, so I can help anyone relocate to this beautiful city in this entirely beautiful state. So just reach out to me in the comments below, leave me an email, or text me directly. If the Chambers Group can personally help you relocate to Colorado Springs and the surrounding areas, we'd be honored to be of service.